Hello, I'm Bella, and today we'll be discussing genetic probability using Punnet squares. To start off, we're going to lay some groundwork with chromosomes. Humans have 23 homologous pairs, meaning that we have 46 chromosomes. A homologous pair is two chromosomes that have the exact same genetic code in the exact same locations. However, humans don't need two sets of chromosomes. This is where you get into dominant and recessive, phenotype and genotype, and alleles. What is an allele? An allele is a genetic variation. Dominant alleles will be expressed over recessive alleles, and that is where you get phenotype. What can be seen? What is actually expressed? Now, we think this with hair and eye color, but this could even mean enzyme production, which you obviously can't see. However, genotype is what could potentially be coded for. If two recessive alleles cross, you'll have a recessive phenotype, which is where you come down to homozygous and heterozygous. Heterozygous being dominant and recessive in one. While dominant will be expressed, that doesn't mean the recessive isn't there. However, with homozygous, you either have two dominant or two recessive. So how do we determine? This is your monohybrid cross, with two homozygous, one being dominant, one being recessive, ending up with a phenotypic ratio of 3:1. 3 dominant, 1 recessive. However, 2 of the dominant do have a heterozygous genotype. So how do we figure this out? We use this formula. 2n squared, n being the number of alleles. So wouldn't this be what a dihybrid cross would look like? No. Because if you look specifically in the top left corner, this person does not have a genetic code for B. And if B is the gene for having ears, this person won't have ears. So how do we figure this out? We use foiling, which with homozygous looks extremely easy. But once you add heterozygous, it becomes a whole different ballgame. So this is what an actual dihybrid cross would look like, with a ratio of 9:3 to 3:1. But when you go into 3, you get 64 squares. And this is a ratio of 27 to 9 to 9 to 9 to 3 to 3 to 3 to 1, which is why we have computer programs to determine this. Because this isn't actually what all offspring would be. If you have 4 offspring, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to end up. This is just the probability. It's just the probability of how genes will be expressed and the human study of the genome. See ya.